Hey, LeBron, the NBA TV cameras picked up the little exchange you had with Jabari Smith Jr. and then saw like the post game photo with his dad, and him being on the Kings roster in the first game, and then you played against him 3 times your second year. Is there context you can give us just to you think about stuff like that, and then you're putting 48 on in a game like this and being matched up with Jabari Jr. for much of the game?
One made me feel extremely old. When Junior told me that, I think he even said that, like, probably feel old or something in that context. But like I said, post game, I've just been extremely blessed and to be able to play this game and be able to touch multiple generations. That's not the only. I mean, Kenyon Martin Jr. was out on the court tonight as well. I played against his dad, Gary Trent Sr. I played obviously his son now in Toronto. It's just Gary Payton and his son. It's just a unique thing that I've been able to withstand the test of time, or as long as I've been playing, to be able to compete now versus father and son combinations. Same as what Brady's doing. I mean, you look at like Ashanti Samuels, and now his son's playing, and Patrick Surtain, he played against his dad, and now he's playing against his son. So just trying to keep up with the Bradys, I guess, not the Joneses.
And then kind of along those lines, with Bronny being very close in age, right, to Jabari, is there a different kind of way that you can connect or understand, just thinking about your relationship with your son and
yeah,
that
for sure.
generation?
Oh, absolutely. I can connect very easily. Having an 18-year-old son, in my house, and having a 19-year-old teammate sit right, next to me at the practice facility, at Max. So I can relate and understand both sides of the spectrum because I'm around it on a day-to-day basis.
I have one about tonight and one about your tweet earlier. Tonight, you guys set a franchise record for only 2 turnovers in a game. Just you've been playing for so long. How rare and is that? And what does that say about your team connection tonight?
It's very rare, and you always as a ball club want to kind of play in you want to kind of be in the 11 to 13 range if you can. That's kind of the range you want to be in, where you're taking care of the ball. You feel like if you're in 11 to 13 range, give yourself an opportunity to score, give yourself an opportunity to get shots up at the rim, and not allowing the team to get opportunities at the fast break. So, I look at the Rockets only have 7 fast break points, and for a team that's as young as they are, that's what they're really good at. So by us not turning the ball over, it allows us to set our defense.
And you tweeted earlier this afternoon about just expressing frustration the way the last 2 games were officiated, and you echoed something you told us back in November that refs have been telling you that, hey, I missed it or I didn't see it. Is there a solution you have in mind, or is there something that can be done that can make it better?
Well, I don't know. I don't have the answer to it. But just very, very frustrating to be able to put yourself in a position to win, and then you have 2 calls that could have helped you win ball games and back-to-back games not going your way. So, when you're in a win business, it can affect a lot of people. It can affect a lot of people's job security. It can affect a lot of things that's going on. And when you have an opportunity, you put yourself in a position to win. You want to feel like it's fair.
LeBron, I think you had back-to-back baskets in the first half where you kind of looked to the crowd and told people that, you quoted, I think, a Pulp Fiction line, that you're a bad a bad man. When did you feel the rhythm tonight? And it feels like when you've played second nights of back-to-back so far this year, you've been able to kind of dial it up pretty quickly. Is there anything to that?
It's kind of weird because I don't feel it. I was extremely exhausted today, extremely tired. Body was sore from the battle that we had yesterday versus Philly. But I guess once I step on the floor, for warm-ups and the crowd fills in, it's my job to go out and play, the best way I can. And I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to make every shot, but I just try to lock in on the job at hand. And I could have very easily took tonight off, but I don't feel like it was. I don't feel like the momentum of our ball club could use me taking a night off tonight. I don't feel like I wanted to sit on that loss with Philly last night. I wanted to kind of get that out of my taste buds and see if we can, win a ball game tonight. So, it was a complete team effort, and I just try to, make plays.
LeBron, aside from not turning the ball over, what did you feel like was the difference tonight in pulling this one out versus the last couple?
Even when they made, they made their runs, we withstand those. We was up 14 at one point in the third, and I think they cut it all the way down to 3 to start the fourth or something around there, and we was able to, still make enough plays, to still make enough stops, and give ourselves an opportunity to win the ball game. So I feel like that was very key.
Hey, Bron, you've long cited how you take care of your body as being one of the main reasons you've been able to be so good for so long. But I'm curious, has your unique ability to sort of outthink opponents and see things contributed to that as well? And when did you realize that you had that advantage?
I knew that at a very young age that I had the ability to read the game before the game was even being played, or possessions, or being able to read plays ahead of time. So I've always had that ability for quite a long time, even when I was a teenager. I always knew that at any part of my game, as far as athleticism would start to go down, that I could still outthink a lot of my competition. And then as my athleticism, goes down a little bit, I knew I could expand my game, up. So, early on it was a lot of just speed and just jumping and then figuring it out, and, as you get smarter and smarter, you say, okay, well, teams now know that they can kind of key in on these things. So, how can I make sure that I'm unguardable, and I can always put myself in a position where I do what I want to do, not what the defense wants me to do. So, I've been able to continue to work on my craft and also still keep the mind in it of being able to see plays happen before they happen.
Last question, Eric.
LeBron, when he was alive, Dr. King was widely hated for his views and for his activism. It wasn't until he was assassinated that the narratives around him began to change. When you think about your social activism and the critique that you've received, how are you able to relate to Dr. King?
Well, first of all, it's a beautiful day that we're able to celebrate such a great man and what he stood for, and everybody that was around him that stood for him and stood for his views as well. For me, looking at guys like Dr. Martin Luther King, looking at guys like Muhammad Ali, guys that, spoke, from their hearts of being able to understand, what's going on in the world, and being able to use their platforms to be able to shine light on some discrimination things or, on views that they believe in that's for the better of the people, no matter your color, no matter your skin, no matter how tall or short, no matter whatever the case may be, your age, talking about how we can all, be as one, how we all can preach love and not hate, things of that nature. So, growing up in the inner city, seeing, how underprivileged black people are, I always felt like if I had an opportunity to be able to have any type of platform, I always wanted to give back to that. I always wanted to be able to use my voice and the people that grow up like me to be able to understand that we do have power, we do have an opportunity to, make people understand that, there is good in love, and I'm not nowhere near sitting up here saying I'm Dr. Martin Luther King or I'm not Mom. Those guys literally stood on the front line and did it every single day, but what I'm honored to do is be able to kind of still live through them and be able to speak some of the words that they preached and also live by action as well. Being able to give back to my community and being able to, speak for my people and, the things that we've been through over, many, obviously, years. We know the history, but it's definitely a treat to be able to, perform and do what I love to do on such a great man's day. And Dr. King is one of the greatest men to ever walk the face of the earth. Appreciate it.